time from God, time from family, relationships, stress, because it's not just picking up a camera. It's like whole systems and processes and like dealing with people, not getting paid enough, doing free work, still not seeing the result. And once I started like praying to God and giving myself to God,
Yeah.
I felt like not within just money, but spiritually, I feel like found something.
Yeah.
I found something that everything that I've ever done, like throughout the whole journey, like it didn't even matter. Like the views, cool cars, like being able to, film with dope people, I didn't even care about that.
Yeah.
What I cared about was the connection with God.
Yeah.
Being able to like
Yeah.
be present. That's what I appreciated more.
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, I started putting more time for my family, and that felt better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, like I've been doing all this.
Yeah.
Like I still felt sad, I still felt lost. But when I shifted to this, I felt more complete.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
dang.
Yeah.
Like it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was just looking for something else that I thought happiness was in somewhere else. What's up, guys? Today we're doing a podcast. The person right here sitting next to me, his name is Michael Gastelum.
Yes, sir.
So I met Michael, aka Gas Money, through this media agency that I used to work for. We met in Cancun. We had a dope experience, filming content with Yados. It was like a mastermind. And within this mastermind, working with Gas Money, he not just treated me like another coach that just like brushes the videographer off or just kind of not really builds that relationship within like videography. And if you're a videographer, you know what I'm talking about. He talked to me like obviously I'm a human, but a human. And he gave me like advice, and he believed in me. Like I don't know what he saw in me, but he was lacing me up on game. He's like, "Yo, Lou, you should do this. Like, get on the program." And then he was even pitching his program like that to me. Like I felt like I was getting sold, but it was more like coming from a genuine place. So throughout the time after that event of the Cancun, I kept working with the media agency, and he kept doing his coaching. But throughout that time, it's like probably like what, a year?
Mm-hmm. About a year.
So it's about a year.
Mm-hmm.
We're in two different levels, right? Gas Money, high level entrepreneur, freaking, top. And I'm still coming up, but I'm gonna get there soon, hopefully. But what I'm trying to say is when you are chasing a dream or chasing a journey, when somebody laces you up on game, it's either you do something with it or you don't. But the people that do something with it, they're gonna come back maybe in a year. And this game within like coaching or just the whole social media industry, the people that are actually gonna last is, they're gonna see that in longevity terms, not just in short term, going viral and stuff like that. But this is Gas Money, guys. I'm gonna ask him some questions about his coaching, his life, how he became a millionaire, and so let's get started.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you, man. It's been about, obviously it's been about a year since we connected, but I've been seeing you, watching you, and everything that you're saying is so on point. I mean, a lot of people fail because it's just old news at this point, but they give up too early, right? Just at that point when they're about to sprout, they don't see anything. And that's like 80% of it. I'm like, people just have to keep going and endure all those mistakes, all those losses. And one of the reasons why I think I like win, like air quotes, win. I mean, we're never fully there, right? We're never fully there. We're always going to keep growing. But one of the reasons why like I beat people is because I just have more perseverance. Like I'm more mentally tough. I have more willpower. I will keep going. But on the back end, yeah, there are some skills. There's some things that you have to learn to keep like upgrading your skill set. But if you don't have the heart, I mean, you're not going to win. You actually don't deserve to win, as a matter of fact. If you don't have the heart and the willpower and the mental toughness to endure some sacrifices and some adversity, you actually don't deserve to win. So that's the prerequisite off the top. But the other thing you were talking about is like everybody's given their portion of like talent, their skill, their gifts. You're giving yours, I'm giving mine. It's all good. It just depends on what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a biblical story, is like the parable of the talents. One guy gets, one talent, another guy gets 3 talents, another guy gets 5 talents. The one who like multiplies it and really like cherishes what he has, that's the one that's going to be rewarded the most. It's no excuse, like wherever you start, it's just like, hey, just take what you got and just keep going, because that's how I started. I started with nothing, I was just a skeleton essentially, like no muscle, no money, didn't have a lot. So we just multiply from here, Does that make sense?
The people that, don't know who you are, you're a self-development, Savage Saint, fitness, you're a fucking mentor. And if somebody like doesn't understand what coaching is, and they're still trying to get into, get a coach or a mentorship, what's something that you're able to tell them or give them advice, like some pointers so they can like either save time from dealing with a bullshit coach and dealing with somebody that's actually going to give them value?
Oh, yeah. I mean, right off the top, I mean, you have to see results like in somebody. You have to, whatever you want in your life, your coach should personify that and embody that. That's just right off the top. Like, if your coach doesn't have power or money or muscles or whatever, a community, those are the things that you want to look out for. If you're, because anybody could make videos, online, but you should see like the fruits of that coach's, work in front of you. And that's how you should kind of judge it from there. But yeah, I've been doing this forever, Louis. Like, I just have increased the intensity, I guess you could say. Like, I've been doing this since I was like in middle school, just inspiring people, motivating people, coaching people, people like following me in a way. I've always been like that. But I think now I realize like personal development is so huge. Even though I did that and people were kind of somewhat following me and looking up to me in some aspects, I still had areas in my personal development that were really lacking. And I think that's what really holds people back, is they think they're actually better than they actually are, or they're unaware. Like, you actually get rewarded for awareness. And that's one of the big parts of my program. Is it's a program of awareness. I basically show you the mirror of where you're at, who you're not, and what you need to work on. And the person who's able to absorb that and take that, they're the one that's going to win and be like, you know what, Coach Mike, he preaches a hard message, but you know what, he's right. And that hard message is love. That discipline is love. And that's basically what I do,
Yeah, and I've, not just because I know Gas Money, I'm just being real. There was an event yesterday, and when I saw the event and saw the people, the way you did this mastermind was different than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, for my experience, this is my personal experience that I'm talking about, I felt the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt, in a way, God was here,
Mm-hmm.
like, with us. And I'm not saying that I'm like, I try to pray and try to, follow and be good and be positive. But when Gas Money and V were talking yesterday about the mastermind, no one was praying in the whole room.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and I'm like, damn, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see that. You don't see, it's more like when the mastermind is more like you network, you talk about what you do, and in a way you kind of have to like, not you have to, but in the room it's more like you're kind of like flexing on other people. It's like, oh, like.
It's a flexing contest?
Yeah, it's a flexing.
Yeah.
That's what I've
Yeah.
seen within like the videography or being behind the
Absolutely.
scenes.
Yep.
But with this, it's more
Yeah.
like people are trying to help people.
Yeah.
And there was people crying here.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I feel like when I went back home last night, I felt like my heart was open. Like, I felt vulnerable. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, how is it possible that, like, that, like, I know it's possible, but
yeah.
but how?
Like, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't felt this in a while, and in a way, I felt like happy. I felt
Right.
like, damn, this is dope.
Yeah.
Seeing Gas Money, being able to help
Appreciate
them
that.
and just like see the vision, and it's a nonstop of self-development with everybody.
Right.
Nobody's judging anybody. Everyone's here to help. Everyone understands that they got stuff going on. But like you said, when you were talking on the mastermind, if you guys want to go watch that mastermind recap or whole event, go to Gas Money.
Yeah.
He's gonna upload it. But within that, you were basically saying to everybody, like, I know who people really are or who they're gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, like, he does. Because, like, even, like, when we said what's up, you're like, yo, you've been fucking getting good. And not just because what you wanted me to hear, but within, like, how you met me.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen, like, the progress.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn. And he believed in me when I didn't believe myself when I was, like, in Cancun. I was super insecure. I'm still insecure, but I'm still trying to pass through it,
You've grown and like
grown.
leveled up. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a little bit of weaknesses here or there, blind spots, right? So I definitely see that. You always treat people like how they should be, not like how they are right now. So, like, I mean, I know what I think you want, and I think I'm correct on that. And I know what it's going to take to get there. And once you get rolling, then you're going to see way beyond what I actually saw initially. But, like, I already see you, 5 steps ahead. I mean, I already know. We were just talking about this off camera. It's just going to come down to everything that really holds people back. It's, all the personal development stuff. It takes risk, It takes risk to really go for it. But going back to what you were saying about, I wouldn't even consider this really a mastermind. Like, this was more of a transformational, like, I coach like transformation. Like, I'm not looking for a clap. I'm not looking for, when I talk to people, I'll ask them a question and I'm like, answer the question directly though. And their ego is still in the way that they'll be like, well, I'm not bad at everything. I do this, I do that. I'm like, answer the question though. Where are your weaknesses? Where are your holes? It's hard. It's like you said, like, you felt vulnerable, and a lot of people run away from that. They get scared. They're like, oh my God, like I have this rush of feelings coming by, like I've never felt that. And I'm like, that's growth right there. Growth is like an onion. You peel the layers back and it's supposed to make you cry a little bit, but a lot of people don't want to do that. They're just too busy creating this narrative, this story that fits their ego. But I'm like, in all reality, we got to get to your real identity. And because that's the root of the problem right there is a weak identity. People not knowing who they really are. And we spent a lot of time talking about, like, you can't know your real purpose and what you're supposed to do in life if you still don't know your name, if you still don't know your identity. And that's why I talk to everybody at who they're supposed to be, not who they currently are. Because like we were saying, like, some of the guys, one guy's name was Stomper. That was his name. Like, so he was stomping motherfuckers out. The other guy was Local. He was acting crazy. He did drugs. He did this. He did that. The other guy had a self-esteem issue because people would make fun of his the way he looked. You know what I mean? So whatever your name is, whatever you attach your identity to, that's how you're going to act in life. So it's like we got to see ourselves at a higher capacity. That way we do more and we're called to a greater height in life, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's just so powerful. Like, I know how to do this. A lot of people are scared to talk about God. I'm not, like, at all. Like, it actually feels right. Like, my whole thing is called Savage Saint, like, I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm actually really proud of it. I don't run away from it. A lot of people just say the universe. I say Jesus, like, I'm not embarrassed of it.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Whenever you're around high level people that, are, because there's people that put up a facade up front,
Mm-hmm.
but with, when people meet people like you feel it. Even now you can feel the energy. Like, it's like, damn, it's being genuine. It's not like you're trying to portray something that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you have to do to become this version of yourself? Because I know it's not just about fitness.
Right.
And it's deeper than that. So,
I mean, everyone has like their story, like I was telling you yesterday, like, can we get beyond, like, everybody has, like, yeah, I did drugs, I had alcohol problems, I had a breakup, I was locked up, or I was a millionaire, then I lost it all, the whole story. I'm like, dude, I'm tired of hearing that story. It's about, like, what did that story show you? Like, did you actually overcome that? Like, I want to know that. What does it take to get there? I mean, it takes honesty, but everybody knows that answer. For me, it was having a connection with God, because in all reality, you want yourself to connect straight to God, and that is going to give you a nudge, guidance, all in the right direction. And eventually, like, people really see what their life should be. They actually see pictures and images and a vision. And I talk a lot about that, but identity, your purpose, like, God will start revealing that to you, but you have to take time in the morning, or it doesn't even have to be in the morning, but in the morning time. The morning means basically like a start of your new life. Every day you wake up, that morning is like a new page to your life. It's basically like, all right, that's why I like when you wake up early in the morning and you sit with God and you really converse with God and you have that dialogue with God. He will give you the right answer. You don't need me necessarily. God might use me, but you don't necessarily need a coach or a mastermind to tell you your next move. You actually just need to sit and get in the presence and the atmosphere of God, and He will tell you your next move. And for me, my next move was, after getting cheated on, which, I'm not trying to cast blame on one person. I was part of the problem. Drinking a lot, being skinny, fat. My next move was counting macros, like getting in shape, just doing the basics. But now I've already done all that. Now my next move is like doing a mastermind or a transformation course. My next moves look way different, but you're never going to get to that level 10 if you don't walk level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like a lot of people just try to like jump, and I'm like, bro, just take your time, enjoy all this shit. Like enjoy that. My relationship with God is so like amazing now, but it's always been amazing. I was like, the first time I ever really sat there and like felt a connection, got chills, really felt connected, it was just as amazing as it is now. It's just gotten more colorful, it's gotten more deeper, and I'd imagine that it's just gonna keep going. So like, as long as I have that, I don't need to get anything from anybody. I have God right here. Like, God is literally, it's not that I need blessings in my life. It's that God is the blessing. The fact that we have God in our life, like literally, that is the blessing right there. Like the fact that you have God, not that you got a Lambo and a house and this and that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's the fact that we have God, like, we're good, bro. Like, but it's gonna take courage. It's gonna take sacrifice. It's gonna take surrendering, being vulnerable. I'm like, just walk this route. It's so much easier and better than doing you're gonna have to work so hard, like by your own. That's the thing with like personal development and like entrepreneurship. It's all by yourself. Sometimes you could take God out of it. So I actually put God back into it, and I think that's why it works so well. And like God is shifting in my business, in the community. And I think that's how it should be all the time. Like God should be, I don't know, like I think about this all the time. Like God lives in us, but sometimes we can kind of remove God from our life, if you will, if you know what I mean, like whether it be through vices or whatever it may be. People are dying for this type of stuff, Louis. Like I'm telling you, like they just haven't had a community or somebody, maybe like myself, where they're like, you know what, Mike looks cool, or he has muscles, he has everything that I would think I want, and he has this. It gives me, I like free people up to like, be like, you know what, it's not like boring. Like he's saying it in a cool way where I could really digest it. You know what I'm saying? But so people are really like, they're hungry for this, bro. And deep down they are. They know they want that, but they just don't know who to go to get that. And also get the money, get the millions, get the body, get the wife, get the life, get the whole thing,
100%. And within like what you just said right now, it takes sacrifice. It takes taking a risk. It takes, being vulnerable. A lot of people are not, they think that, when whatever you do within like business or anything, right? This whole journey, it's like you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
Like even being here, talking to Gas Money, I had to sacrifice a lot. Not within just like, because I make videos, it's just like time
Yep.
from, like, it sounds messed up, but time from God, time from family, relationships, stress, breaking down all the time. Because it's not just picking up a camera, it's like whole systems and processes and like dealing with people, not getting paid enough, doing free work, still not seeing the result. And once I started like praying to God and giving myself to God,
Yeah.
I felt like not within just money, but spiritually, I feel like found something.
Yeah.
I found something that everything that I've ever done, like throughout the whole journey, like it didn't even matter. Like the views, cool cars, like being able to, film with dope people, I didn't even care about that.
Yeah.
What I cared about was the connection with God.
Yeah.
Being able to like
Yeah.
be present. That's what I appreciated more.
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, I started putting more time for my family, and that felt better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, like this, like I've been doing all this.
Yeah.
Like I still felt sad, I still felt lost, but when I shifted to this, I felt more complete.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
dang,
Yeah.
like it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was just looking for something else that I thought happiness was in somewhere else.
Yeah. And the thing is, you weren't doing drugs or indulging in vices. It was still a good thing. You're still building your business. You're still like being a morally correct person and doing like what society deems as like right, but you still felt empty. I actually believe that everybody should have a relationship like with God, like 100%. But you should also like, what do you think? God wants you poor? You think God wants you broke? Like, we're supposed to make heaven as it is in heaven down below too. Like, that's how we should live down below. And so like, that's kind of part of the message that I want people to know too. I'm like, we're not supposed to be like just totally, just poor and just struggling. Like I talked about that yesterday a lot. Like, you ever realize people who believe in God, they're like praising God, they're worshiping, they're doing all this, but they're still ridden with like fear and anxiety and worry. They're still praying for the same things that they prayed for. And maybe, if I'm being honest, like a lot of our parents, and I'm not calling my parents out, but I'm just saying like a lot of our parents, like just generally speaking, like that's how they roll. And I'm like, yo, but how can you have faith and all that fear at the same time? It can't exist. Like, it's not supposed to happen. It's like I said, the first thing that you should look for in somebody is results. Well, like, if you're going to church and you believe in God and all that type of stuff, like the result should be like you're winning. Like, you should either have a spiritual power or you should be having like an abundance of wealth and money, not because that's on your heart. It's just like when you're just so dope like that and you're tapped in like that, it just attracts towards you. Does that make sense? Like, it really should be like that, like, because you're really doing good, like you're really helping people. Like, if you're really truly like transforming people like we did yesterday, people will come to you and be like, dude, here's some money. Like, money follows vision. Money follows like somebody. If you're really in alignment, people will give you money. Like, you won't have to ask them, And that's what I try to get to people or give to people and get them to get there, is to like create that reality that's true to their nature, like that's true to their essence. Obviously, you can't do what I do, I can't do what you do, but that's the beauty of it. Like, imagine a bunch of Louis, mini Louis, like that would be like just dumb, like everybody has their own like path.
And what you just said within like the prayer and like people praying, not still having that fear. What I'm about to say might be wrong, or whatever it is, but I don't care. But how I see people, because I grew up Catholic, but I don't know what's right. I don't know if Christian and Catholic is right. I just believe in God, straight up. But what I'm trying to say is that, just like you said, like our people, like not just calling anybody out, but just like family, friends, whatever. They
Me,
pray.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pray and pray and pray, but it's also you have to take action when you pray, because God might give you something like an opportunity or something what you're praying for, but you also have to be uncomfortable and be scared. You might feel all these feelings, but you have to do it. You have to like take it, because that's God's sign of like, this is what you prayed for.
Yeah.
Now it's time to step up.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of like, imagine praying and then you pray and then I'm like, yeah, but God, in order for the prayer to actually be fulfilled, the steps need to be taken. Like, I mean, you can't pray for weight to come off your body. You're going to have courage and boldness to be like, I'm going to go to the gym. I know I'll feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it. Faith is a verb. Faith, like, belief is cheap. Faith is expensive, if you will. Like, belief is cheap. A lot of people believe. A lot of people don't have actual faith, though, because faith is a verb. Faith is like personified. Faith is you starting your business, like you going to Mexico, coming to a mastermind, like getting on a plane, and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work out. Me starting a business, me renting out this place. You know what I mean? That's actual faith. Anybody could believe, like, you could believe that you're the dopest person in the world, but do you have faith that you're going to take the actions that match your belief? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do not have that at all. But that's going to be the separator, basically, between like a leader and a follower, like a successful, multi-million-dollar man or business or whatever it may be, versus somebody who, well, I know I'll get there one day. I'm like, you're not going to get there, bro. Like, you actually have to take action, like massive action. You have to upgrade your identity. You got to work on all your weaknesses. You got to work on all your insecurities. You got to hire coaches if you need to. Like, that's what it takes.
100%. So you're Mexican American, right? You've reached over like $1 million within your coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to talk down on Mexican people, but there's not a lot of successful Mexican people. It's mostly like they're working for somebody. They don't have their own business. And the people that do, well, I do know Mexican millionaires, but you're one of the few, in this whole, industry, because it's not a Mexican industry, if that makes sense. Or
There's not that many of us.
yeah. There's not.
Yeah.
But you're one of the few.
Yeah.
How do you overcome you're like, I don't know if you ever felt this,
Yeah.
like certain beliefs, the way you grew up, and now
Dude.
you're freaking established within your business, and you're seeing results not within just yourself, but with your clients.
Yeah.
And like that, you're a millionaire. So how do you, what's your thought process on that? Like, what's your thought process on like where you started and where you came or where you are now?
I think it's not just Mexican Americans. I just say that because I'm Mexican, but like this could be a lot of country guys, a lot of like blue collar guys, a lot of African Americans. Like, yeah, we all have kind of our thing, and those things really put us behind the eight ball. Not everybody's starting at square one. Like some of us are starting way back, and that's because like fear, doubt. I'll tell you a story real quick, Louis. Like when I was because I played Division I ball at St. Mary's College, right? But again, like to even get to that point, I had to overcome a lot of mental hurdles and just like, who is this guy? Like I was the only Mexican kid on the team. It was all just, white kids, pretty much. I think we had one black guy on our team, like that's how most colleges are, to be honest with you. When I walked on, and by the time I left, I got a full ride scholarship. I played shortstop. I was a fifth-year senior, and I hope you're following my story. Like I was a fifth-year senior, and they offered me like to give me the opportunity to get my master's in business administration. Okay, I was only 21 years old at the time, and so I was like, screw it. Like that sounds like that's a $100,000 program right there. You're gonna allow me a full scholarship to start this program? So I said yes. And I remember walking in the room, and I mean, the fear, the mindset that I had that I was lesser than everybody else in terms of like, man, these guys are 45, 55, 35. They have way more money than me. I feel like they're more just better than me. They're established in their careers. They're smarter than me. Everything that you could think of. I'm like, who is this guy? Like me. And I walk into one of the rooms, and I walk in like a couple minutes late. And it's just like this, right? Everybody's sitting down. There's no more chairs, bro. No more chairs, or like at the table. So I pull one in the back of the room, and I'm sitting there, and I'm starting to kind of like feel sorry for myself. Like, ain't nobody said, hey, yeah, pull up that chair. Like, we'll make a little bit of room. Nobody said that. And to be honest, like, I'm kind of glad they didn't. Like, the world's not going to do that for you sometimes. I would do that for somebody because I know how it feels, but don't expect that. But I'm here, I am in the back of the room kind of sulking, and the teacher, she was like, hey, like, make room for him. And I'm like, damn, I feel like a bitch right now. Like, teachers like basically kind of like calling, like, here the spotlight is on me, like, make room for this idiot. That's kind of how I felt. And she was like, you're not a second-class citizen. And she basically called me out on what my mindset was, what my paradigm was. And I'm thinking back on that experience now, I'm like, that is exactly what held me back and what is going to hold me back until I figure it out. So to answer your first question was, how did you kind of grow? It's by changing obviously that mindset word, my paradigm, my beliefs. Now now I'm teaching the class. Before I could even sit at the table with these guys. Now I make more money than them. I look better than them. I sound better than them. And those are all superficial things. And I have a deeper message than all of them. Like, but it's just not even about that. It's just like I had to change a lot of the things that were ingrained in me from childhood, basically. Like a lot of the things our parents don't even know. They're only teaching us what they knew, And so it takes somebody that's aware. Luckily, I was aware. I wanted growth, I wanted more. So I had to be aware that I was like, you know what, how do I overcome this? And I started looking up videos like Bob Proctor videos, like, all the personal development gurus. But I never got coaching from those guys. But I started kind of getting the signs like, hey, you're going to have to level up like your self-image, like how you see yourself, like your confidence, your self-esteem. And because everybody's smart, but like you're smart, I'm smart, but what's going to really hold us back from getting to that and to being like who we're really meant to be is if you don't break that old identity, motherfucker, you ain't going to get there. You ain't absolutely not going to get there. So just like, I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but like Mexican culture is notorious from like, hey, don't be too loud. Sit in the back of the room. Like, it's okay. Like, Don't that was the mindset that I had, and I'm like, all these other, like, white guys, they're not saying that. They're like, put me in the front, like, it's okay, like, I deserve that. I felt I deserved the back seat. That's now I deserve the front seat. And like, I don't deserve just the seat here. I deserve to be in the front because I've sacrificed more. I became more. I'm more valuable. I'm worth more. Like, you need to be listening to me in my mind, like, based off of what I've sacrificed and done. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's such a good example. Like, you're either in the back of the room or you're in the front of the room. Which one are you,
Yeah, bro, that was crazy. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you just said right now. Within, like, you said your mindset, you said that, you felt like, even with those limiting beliefs within, like, Mexican culture or just any culture, right? Depending on, like, how you grew up, but how, the Mexican, we're talking about Mexican culture.
That's what
'cause we're
we are,
Mexican,
bro.
yeah.
Like, we can only talk about what
Yeah,
we are.
what we
Yeah.
what we are, what we know. But within, like, that culture of, like, those limiting beliefs, like being humble and not speaking too much, just, like, basically just being quiet and listening. There's a point where it's like, yeah, you put those beliefs and you use them, but also you have to, just like you said the other day, this would be elementary.
Yes.
Like, this would be elementary. Rewiring everything that you know, like you said yesterday,
Right.
reading, all the basics, definitely you need that. But within, like, spirituality, mindset, they don't teach it.
They don't teach it.
And everyone's lost. Like, when people go to school, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Yep.
But what if, like, the whole school system implemented a coach or spiritual journey? That would be a different impact.
Oh, it'd be massive. That's what I'm saying. When I had everybody here, I'm like, I know all you motherfuckers, because all of my people are kind of like versions of me. Like, you're kind of a version of me in a way. Like, we're all attracted to each other for a reason. And I'm standing up here. I'm like, dude, I know me, and I know this whole classroom were the guys that were sitting in the back of the room. Probably 90% of them were the people, like, doodling in the back, like, not giving a, whatever, But here we are, like, taking notes, like, at the, on a desk, like, who are we? You know what I'm saying? But we're learning stuff that actually isn't gonna make us money, isn't gonna grow us, like you were saying, spiritually, mentally, like the whole thing. We're learning, like, dumbass shit. And the teacher that we're learning from is not captivating. It's not really speaking to, like, it's not telling a story, There are teachers out there like that, but the majority of them, dude, like, they're just the bottom of the barrel. Like, they're putting themselves way last. They actually shouldn't be teaching, unfortunately. But that's to say, I say that with kind of like, luckily we have them, but at the same time, like, dude, we would have been so better off if we had just a better, like, rite of passage, a better role model, a better teacher, a better mentor. But it's like you were saying, like, this should be elementary. Like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to talk to God. That's elementary. I'm gonna show you how to journal. That's elementary. I'm gonna show you how to track macros, work out, eat healthy. That's elementary. Like, how are we learning this at 45 when we should have learned it at 12, like 10? Because that's what's really holding people back. Not like, I don't even know what they teach nowadays. I wasn't paying attention, like, but I make more money than everybody. I have, like, more impact than most people, like, and it's growing. Like, I'm actually not smart when it comes to that stuff. I don't know anything. Like, I Google stuff, like ChatGPT, bro. But, like, when it comes to the real stuff, nah, like, that's all coming from, like, real knowledge and wisdom and, like, obviously preparation,
100%. And within just coaching, what everyone believes, everyone asks me, right? This question: coaching is a scam. Is coaching a scam? Is this coach blah blah blah, whatever, right? Be realistic. Some of them are scams, but that's why you have to do your research within that coach. Coaching. I don't think coaching is going anywhere. I think coaching is gonna, like, I see it as like the stock market. It's slow right now, but it's gonna be the next thing. It's already the next thing. So the people that are investing into themselves in these programs, different programs, they see the result. Everyone's gonna catch on to this. Coaching's not going anywhere. I see coaching as, like, it's gonna be like a every week thing or every month thing that you're doing in Mastermind. Not with you just because you're a coach, but other coaches in general that actually, give value.
Right.
And just like, your personal experience, I don't forget who said this, but somebody said this, like, if you're not putting yourself out there and helping other people, you're just being selfish. Because just like me, like, the lifestyle and, like, the thing that I'm doing, like, full-time videographer, working with high-level entrepreneurs, I would be selfish to keep all this for me. So that's why I'm giving it everything for free. Just here, this free thing, and then I have my course if you want to be in the community, my mentorship within like how to do this, whatever, right?
Yep.
But it would be selfish for us to give out value,
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like you said, bro, like we did this transformational course this weekend. Like I didn't sell one time. It wasn't until like after everybody was like, not everybody, but a few were crying. They're probably crying inside like, damn, that hit me. But after like actual transformation, I'm like, all of you guys should be on the program, like in getting coaching. I don't know how you're going through life without having a leader, somebody going farther ahead of you. It's just like how the streets are, how like the hood is. It's like you get laced up by the big homie or whatever it may be, like your uncle or however it may be. But in all reality, most of them are not like, you shouldn't be taking advice from them. And people need communities like this. They need this. So like, yeah, coaching is not going anywhere. This has been going on for not just decades, like centuries. Like everybody who was anybody got laced up by either a teacher and a prophet, a pastor, a mentor. Like only broke people don't get coaching. Like only losers don't get coaching. Like, and it's their ego. Like Mexicans are the worst when it comes to that. They literally are like, oh, I just wanted for the pride, like my out of like respect for me. Like I'm not gonna ask another man for help. Like honorable if I do it all. I'm like, it's actually stupidity. It's not how it works,
Also within like just what you just said, within like everyone's getting laced up with this game. Now it's more, you're able to access those networks. You're able to pay to be in the room. Back then, it was kind of harder. You would need to know somebody that knows somebody, so it's kind of harder.
Lucky.
But now that people have this, take advantage of it.
Right.
Pay to be in the room. Like I pay to be in the room, even if I was a videographer or not, I would pay.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's business, but also just being able to be in that network, community, whatever it is, you just gotta pay.
Yeah, like when you're talking about, absolutely. Like in 2023. I think I spent over 130K just on like coaching, mentoring, masterminds. I mean, I guess you could throw the flights in there, but like that's over 6 figures. That's like more than what most people make. I invested in myself. That's aside from like paying payroll and like doing all my normal stuff. This was just personal growth and development. I'm willing to take it there. Like I'm willing to sacrifice more than the next man in every aspect. Wake up earlier, invest more money, invest more time, invest more sacrifice, go deeper with my insecurities and what I'm really facing. I'm willing to take it farther. And I love it. That's actually gives me energy that I'm doing more than the next man, Everybody could be up on the stage, I guess you could say, but who's willing to take it there,
Yeah, like not everyone's willing to put in the work, You're really gonna see who is going to last in this game or this, whatever you want to call it, in 10 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Like people are getting into this coaching. It's not easy. Nothing's easy.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of energy. I asked you the other day, it was yesterday, I asked you, how do you have so much energy for people? How do you have energy for yourself? Because when I talk to people, I'm not like self-development to the point where you're at, but I feel drained. Not the people that I'm coaching, but other people that I try to help. I feel drained. I'm like, damn. Damn, I don't even want to help you because you're not even doing nothing with whatever I'm lacing you up with.
Right. Well, yeah, okay. So you asked me that question and like, how do I have so much energy? Like, and my answer to you was like, I love this stuff, bro. Like I wake up, I eat, breathe, sleep, all of this. Like personal development is God, working out, just reading, all this whole lifestyle is what I love. So if I'm talking to you, I'll never get tired. But if I'm talking with somebody in which like I cast pearls to swine, that's when you got to know you're casting your pearls to swine, and you should not be like, putting all that effort where it's wasted. They're not ready for it. So like, as a matter of fact, I think it's more you have to have awareness and like wisdom or common sense to be like, you know what, like protect your atmosphere, like protect your energy to know when they're not ready. That's why I do like talking to groups, so I could just like get them all. If I were to just go one by one, yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more drained, you know. But I like talking to groups like this. It's better for me. But I don't really get tired from any of this. I actually think one thing with coaching is if you could be more bold and telling people like, hey, stop doing that shit. Like sometimes we don't do that. I know what it feels like not to do that shit. Like to be like, hey, you're not listening to me. So like you're not, how can I make an example? But like essentially like calling them out actually protects your energy. It cuts the mishap from them. You know what I mean? It disconnects from there. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
But I definitely feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate you, Gas Money, you know, for everything, you know, kind of just even like, you know, what we talked about off camera, you know, what you believe in me, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
and I appreciate V just, you know, giving me that guidance too. It's dope, you know, being able to, you know, have like people that you're from the Bay, you know, I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's,
Northern California, Southern California,
yeah.
you know?
And it's crazy because it's like, I feel like the journey that I've been through, like, started when I was like 16, 17, and about to be 23 next month. It's been a journey. So if anybody's out there watching this video, just do it. You know, get a coach, and you're gonna freaking see those results that you're trying to see. And maybe sooner than any of us. You know.
Yeah. Well, just to say one last thing, like you have to be a success. You have to like overcome everything that you know like is holding you. Everybody knows like you know what's holding you back. You know what's holding you back. I know what's holding me back from my next 1 level, 5 levels, 10 levels. We know what we need to do. So it's like it's on you to actually do that so you can inspire like other like not just Mexicans, like just other people who are like low self-esteem, low confidence. That's on you. Ain't nobody gonna, it's like my chair example. Ain't nobody gonna pull up a chair for Louis. Like you gotta make your own spot, you know? Like for reals.
Just gotta be a fucking savage.
Be a savage, savage saint.
Savage saint.
But that's what motivates me when I'm like, hey, that's on you. You're looking at that mountain. Well, fuck, create the person that can walk up that mountain. That's the beautiful thing, because like if you're somebody who really cares, the world needs somebody who really cares. Like the world really needs somebody like me who actually gives a care to be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna walk up this mountain, but since I walked up that mountain, I'm gonna go back down and bring up another 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 1,000,000 people. Like, I think that would be pretty impactful, you know. That's purpose, that's fulfillment. You can make all the money in the world, but I'm like, well, you're the only one sitting on top of the mountain. Like, that's why it's lonely at the top, because you didn't bring anybody with you. It's like I think we should be rolling together. Like, maybe not all the time in the sense like you're in my business, but like, or I'm in your business, but it's just like we have a network, a community. Like Hispanic culture is big on like community. How about we make, instead of like going to the living room and we're just all like fucking fat and, you know, eating pozole and shit and hung over, how about it's like we're in the living room, we're like discussing like a bigger vision, a bigger purpose, bigger ideas, more creativity. We're like just better. Like, I think that's the route that we should go. And then you go off on your way, killing it. I go off on my way, killing it. And we have a hub, a community. I don't know. That's just kind of like how I see it, you know?
If you had the world's attention for 1 minute, what would you say or do?
Oh, man. Personally, all right. Like, you want me to actually say, like, to the camera? Or you want me to tell you? Yeah, to you? What I would say is that you have to walk in alignment with God's purpose and identity for your real life. Like, I would say 95% of people are out of alignment what God truly intended for them to do. That's why they feel tired. That's why they feel like they're chasing and not seeking true fulfillment. How about we let that go? So let fear go, let safety go, and truly go for alignment, which is like walking your real path. Like, doing a career is not walking your real path. So just understand that. Like, sit in silence for a second. Not like don't isolate yourself. Like, sit in solitude where you're really connecting with God and get a message. Like, get that message and vision for like what you should really do, and then ask for the boldness and courage to actually walk it. Don't walk the wrong path. So the wrong path would be vices, doing a job or career that isn't really in alignment with who you are. Take the first step in alignment, and then that one step's going to turn into 100 and 1,000, and you're going to be like, damn, like, thank God I did that. Now I'm truly doing what I was meant to do. So it's not living a lie, being authentic, being real. That is what I think, what I would tell people. It's like, hey, just don't live a lie. Live in congruent with what you know you should be doing. And if you don't know what you should be doing, talk to God. That means get in silence. Like, sit there. Don't turn on your phone. Don't go on Instagram. Don't be scrolling on like podcasts or any of that shit. Like, that is garbage. That's a distraction. Those are tools of the devil. Sit there in silence, get your instructions, and take that next step. That's what I would tell everybody.
Well, I appreciate you, Gas Money, for even, giving me this opportunity of showing up, kept his word. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to find Gas Money, what's your Instagram and what's your YouTube?
Yeah, Gas Money 1 on Instagram, and then YouTube. I mean, I don't even know my YouTube channel. Just type in my name. You'll see a bunch of videos pop up on YouTube. But yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Yeah. That's it. Dope.